Yes, we're just a big fun family here. Okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? Woo! Alright, good. Okay, well first of all, you guys, I want to thank you all for being here so much. We're going to have such a good time. And I thank you for hosting a party today. Thank you so much for inviting me in your home. You have a really good crowd here. Really good. Oh, thank you so much. I think you're going to get a lot of free stuff. I'm just prepping you for that right now. So, did you tell them what we were fixing? Yes. You did? You did not. Okay, let me tell them. So we're going to fix chicken bruschetta pasta and chocolate fudge lava cake. Does that sound good? Yes, it's going to be delicious, I promise. So I hope you came hungry. Yes, you always come hungry, always. So before we get started, let me tell you guys what you're holding on to. Grab your book there, you see you have one too. And will you hand me one? Yeah, thank you so much. So let me just go over this with you now. We'll go over it later too. But on the back side of this are all the specials that are available tonight. And I want you to kind of keep this in mind because we always offer a free gift with purchase. So as you're making your wish list, if I do a really good job of making you want everything you see, then you're going to get a free gift. So keep this in mind as you're kind of deciding what to get now and what to get when you have your party, like Dorothy's doing. And then on the other side, you've got your catalog, so you can pull that out. Everybody can have one handy. And behind the catalog, what's going to be most important for you right now is this sheet of paper. So pull this out if you will. Let me hand this back over. Will you set that down? Thank you so much. So this is just a little shopping guide. It is an alphabetical list of most products in the catalog. Some are listed by name, some are listed like in groupings, but I never ever take time to learn where anything is because every 6 months it moves to a different page. So that is just useless. And so I'm going to let you use this to kind of find what you're looking for. I'm going to give you a warning though. You might see something you think is called a chopper. It's got to be called like a salad chopper, or a spritzer is going to be called a kitchen spritzer, so good luck finding anything on here. But it's there, I promise, you just have to look for it. So you might be able to help each other out finding stuff when you find it on here. The back side's an order form, but you can worry about that later. You don't need that right now. Okay, so just use this. We have a new online system that will actually email you your receipt and take all your information. So this can get as ugly as you want it to. You don't have to keep it pretty. You can mark it up, make notes on it. I'll probably tell you a couple things that you'll be able to take home and use in your kitchen right away so you can make notes on it and do all of that. So feel free to jump in. Okay, so let me set this down. You've got your book there. Do you have enough room? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so, earlier on we were talking, and I could just tell you're going to be perfect for this role. So I'm going to give you a job during the party. Is that okay? Okay, that's great. So I'm going to have you be my ticket master. Can you do this? Yes, this is good. So I'm going to give you these tickets. Here's what you can do with these tickets. If at any point during the party you want to give a ticket out, you absolutely can. And it can be for anything you want. So if we're using a product and we're looking through the book, and Susan says, oh, I love that skillet, I have it and I love it, you can give her a ticket. Okay? If we're looking through and Dorothy goes, I've got to have that oil bottle, I need it so much, you can give her a ticket. Let's see, if I look at you and I'm like, I really like that necklace, you can give me a ticket. That's fine too. If you just randomly give me the score of the Kentucky basketball game that's going on right now, woo, go Cats. I know that those are probably fighting words in Texas. It's an SATX, but go Cats. If you yell out go Cats, I'll give you tickets. So we can have fun with this, and you can give out as many tickets as you want. At the end of the party, we're going to draw for a prize. So the more tickets that you have, the better chance you have of winning. And at the very, very end, before we eat, I'll give you a couple opportunities to earn some more tickets. So be as generous as you want with those, okay? Okay, you guys ready to start? All right. So the only thing that I did before you got here, I wanted you to really see how easy it is to make these recipes. The only thing I did was I cooked the pasta. That was it. And so these two recipes that we're making are super easy. They're super simple. The main dish is very healthy. The dessert is not. So I'm a big advocate of you should balance it out somewhere. You should not have heavy everything. So this time of year, it seems that everybody's real conscientious of what you eat, how much you eat. Everybody's getting in shape, getting ready for vacation, 56 days. And so I love doing recipes that I can do at home in my kitchen really healthy, and you can kind of modify however you like it so you can make it as healthy as you want. That's true too. So before you got here, we did the pasta. Now this is our brand new rock crock. It's only been out for about 6 months. Do you guys have this yet? Anna, you have this? Anna, what's your favorite thing to fix in it? S'mores cake. Oh my gosh, Anna loves the s'mores cake. Have you had the s'mores cake yet? So good. You all got together without me, didn't you? Okay, all right. Next time I'm invited, right, for s'mores cake. So I love it. So since you don't have one yet, Susan, let me tell you about this. The rock crock is really, really cool. It goes everywhere. It goes in the microwave, the oven, the grill, the stovetop under the broiler, and in the dishwasher. I know, right? Yeah, you need to give her a ticket. She needs a ticket. So what I love about the Rock Rock is that if you live in a home that if it doesn't go in the dishwasher, it doesn't come in your house, this is perfect. Because you don't have to worry about anyone washing it the wrong way, which does happen all too often. So we have our Rock Rock here. It does come with an awesome glass lid, so you can use that in the oven or on the stovetop, so you don't have to worry about letting all your steam out. Things will cook a little faster. But we actually used it in the microwave with some pasta, and on top of it, I used our Boil Over No More. Now this is a fairly new product, and I saw all of you guys eyeing this, wondering what it was, right? So have you ever in your life boiled over water on your stovetop? Yes, everybody has done that, right? And you put water on to boil, you're doing pasta or whatever you're doing, and you go back to the stove because you hear like, oh my gosh, this was a product that when it came out, I thought, I'm never, ever going to use this. It's this big red floppy thing, what am I going to use it for? But then I realized, oh my gosh, everybody boils over water, and we have one of those glass top stoves, so when it does boil over, it is a mess to clean up, a total mess. So what you do is you put it on top of your pan. You can use it on the cooktop or you can use it in the microwave because it's silicone, so that's what we did. And I don't know how it works. It doesn't really matter to me, it just does. So it just comes up through the middle here, and somehow this stops it from going anywhere else, so you get all these bubbles on there and not on the plate in your microwave or on your stovetop. So we put a pound of pasta to 4 cups of liquid. That's your ratio for the microwave. I love doing this because you don't have to drain it. It absorbs almost all the liquid that you need. And on our stovetop, it takes like 10, 12 minutes to really get the water good and boiling. In the microwave, you can have the pasta cooked in 14. Yeah, so she should get a ticket. That was good. So you don't have to waste all that time just sitting there. What's watch pot never boils, right? The microwave don't watch it anyway. That's good. But you put this in here. We cooked it in chicken broth, but you have a couple of options that you can do. You can cook it in water. That's fine. But you can cook it in chicken broth and or wine, or a combination of all of it, whatever you like. My personal preference is to do the chicken broth and wine half and half, 2 cups of each, because once you open the bottle of wine, you have wine left to drink. So you can drink while you fix dinner. You just go and multitask. Yes, we get them all for that. You all get tickets. Okay, so I have to show you one of my favorite must-travel items. So this is your favorite. Why do you like this so much? It's so easy, right? It's so easy. So recently we traveled and we stayed in a hotel, and it was one of those that had a little kitchenette, and it had one of those wine bottle openers that has like these 2 metal things that come up, and you're supposed to wiggle it somehow. I got so frustrated with it, I looked at my boyfriend, I'm like, just push it through. Like, just get rid of it. So now we don't travel without this, so it comes to Texas and everywhere I go, because you just never know when you might need a glass of wine. So we have this great little opener. It comes in a velvet bag. All special things should come in a velvet bag. So if you can just keep it. So we have our wine, and we can drink whatever. And then we've got our pasta. So 14 minutes, it's there, it's done, taken care of. But again, you can use chicken broth, whatever you'd like to use, okay? So the only reason I did that ahead of time is because I wanted our microwave free to be able to cook our cake while we're doing dinner. So we're going to start with what is my very favorite product in my kitchen, and that would be the grill pan. Now, I know this is on your wish list. This is why you booked the party. Yes, because you're excited to get it. Yes. So, let me tell you a little bit about this pan, and more importantly, I'm going to teach you something. This pan allows you to do outdoor grilling indoors. Personally, I'm scared of fire, so I don't grill on my own. My boyfriend does all of the grilling, and he's really good at it. But he does drive an hour back and forth to work, so if we grill on a weeknight after work, it's not really feasible, because it's going to be too late and I will burn the house down. So I just don't do it on the outdoor grill. So we use the grill pan because we know we're going to get really great results from it. I know I can use it and he knows it's going to be just like grilled food. So we can use it together and it works for both of us, and I love that. So what I'd like to teach you today, if it's okay, is how to grill chicken, because it's my favorite. Yes. So would you agree, number one, that we all eat a lot of chicken? Yes? We all eat a lot of chicken. And would you agree with this statement? We typically overcook it because we're afraid we'll undercook it. Yep. Yes, because it's better to be safe than dead, right? We don't want to kill our family to have heat chicken on the table, right? So I would like to teach you this method. I call it the 1-flip chicken, and it will change the way you cook at home. If we all eat chicken a lot and we're not cooking it well, it means most of our meals are terrible. So we're going to make this better. We're going to make it much more fun for you at home and much more enjoyable for you and your family to eat with. So the very first step is you're going to take your pan and preheat it on medium-high heat. So when you're cooking, a lot of times we'll take meat and we'll put it in a cold pan and turn on the burner. And when we hear it start to sizzle, we go back and we start doing something to it. But cold meat in a cold pan takes twice as long to cook. So that's most often what we do with like ground beef. We'll throw ground beef in, we'll turn the skillet on, and we go back, and when we hear it start, we break it up with our favorite little hamburger chopper. You know, we love that. I know you all have that. So preheat the pan, that's the first step. And while your pan is preheating, you're going to prepare your chicken so that it cooks evenly and quickly, and it's just very simple for you. So the first thing you're going to do is to take your chicken, and you're going to put it in a Ziploc bag, okay? That's what I do. Now, we buy chicken in bulk because it's the cheapest way to buy it. We'll buy it at Sam's or Costco, because, you know, it's less than $2 a pound, which anymore is pretty inexpensive for chicken, because if you go just buy like a chicken breast or two, you'll spend way too much money at one time, and I'm all about saving. So when you get them though, when you buy them in bulk especially, they come out of the package and they're like this big. Yeah. I don't think they're real chickens that they come out of. They're cheap, so that's what I buy. So we get these big fake chickens and put them in a Ziploc bag. And so what I do in the Ziploc is I get it where it really makes more out of less. You know, we make it go further. A lot of times, especially in America, we are taught from a very young age, you eat what's on your plate. You know, you eat what's on, there's kids that need food, you eat what's on your plate, which I completely agree with. And Pampered Chef is a huge supporter of Feeding America to make sure all kids and families have meals. So you eat what's on your plate. But our portion control is just out of control. Our portions are huge. If you go to a restaurant, you order chicken or pork chops, you get 2. Who needs 2 pork chops for dinner, right? It's just ridiculous, but we're supposed to eat it, so we do. We sit there and eat, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, we're so full. We don't know how that happened, you know? So at home, we can control that. So what I do is I put the chicken in a Ziploc bag, and I take our meat tenderizer to it. Now, feel how heavy this is. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy, right? Yeah, you guys have to feel this. So it could be a weapon if, like, your husband's out of town and you need bedside security. You could totally hurt somebody with it. Don't do it. But it's really, really heavy. So what I do is I use it to flatten out the chicken. And so you put it in a bag and you do this number, like really beat it to death. And it takes a chicken breast like this and it makes it expand and gives you more surface room and it thins it out. So all of a sudden, instead of having a giant chicken breast when you need 4 chicken breasts and fixing 4 giant chicken breasts, now you can make it thinner, cut it in half, and then you only need 2 because you can make 2 out of 1. So you can make your food go further. And then if you do freeze it like we do, when you put it in the freezer thinner like that, it takes much less time to thaw. So the way we do that at home is Ziploc makes this great little product, and I'm not endorsing Ziploc or anything, but I'm just telling you it's a great product. They're called Perfect Portions bags. They kind of look like little doggy bags, like that you pick up doggy stuff. And so you take your chicken breast and you put your hand in it and grab your chicken and then you flip it over, and so it like turns it inside out. There's no zips on it, so it just folds up, and then you put all of those in one large Ziploc bag. So you don't have like 25 chicken breasts in baggies floating around your freezer. So it saves some time and space. So we do that. So you're going to flatten out your chicken, get it nice and thin. Usually I try to go between, about a 1/4 inch is what we're looking for to there. So you can just beat it until you need it thinner. Just keep going. And so we're going to put a little bit of oil onto the chicken to get the rubs to stick really good, because we want our rubs like to be super flavorful. But the non-stick coating on this pan is so good that you really don't need any oil in the pan itself. So if you're one of those cooks that, you watched your mom drizzle the pan all over olive oil, that's just a bunch of wasted calories and fat. Now if you're cooking with stainless cookware, you do need it, and we do have that. So if that's your option, you like, so that the food doesn't stick, you definitely want to do that. But with our non-stick, you don't have to, which is what I love. So we're going to use our kitchen spritzer. And what you do is you fill it with whatever kind of oil that you like to use. So olive oil, canola oil, if you've got an allergy, you do coconut oil, whatever you like. And then you just pump the lid, and it will build up air pressure in there. When the lid stays up, you know you're good. And then it becomes a spray aerosol. So you just like spray it, and it allows you to not have to use cans of Pam, so that you save those additives and preservatives. So it's called the kitchen spritzer on your wish list if you're looking for it. It's not just the spritzer. So after you use it, be sure to burp it. It has this great little anti-clog device on the bottom, but be sure to unscrew it and let the air out, like a baby, so that it doesn't get all clogged up and cranky. So we're going to put that down. We're going to use a couple of rubs on our chicken. We're using 2 only because I really like them both, but you could use just one, or you could use a favorite seasoning that you might have at home. If you do fix a lot lot of chicken especially, our rubs are fantastic. Be sure to check those out in the catalog because they're less than $5 and there's almost 20 of them. So you could have chicken every single night, and it could be a different chicken every single night. You know, it could be bell pepper and herb, and it could be garlic and herb, or it could be chili lime, or chipotle, or whatever you like. You know, I know in Texas we like spicy, so you can go as much as you want. So we've got garlic and herb, and we've got crushed peppercorn and garlic. Now I will tell you, this is my favorite. You love this one too. What's your favorite thing to put it in?
Hamburgers or steaks.
Because it's so good on red meat, right? And what did you say you like to do with it? Chicken, perfect. Okay, so you need to add this to your wish list. You're the only one without it, so you gotta have it. So we put it on everything: vegetables, in our spaghetti sauce. I'll put it on really fish, anything. You know, it just goes perfectly. It's kind of like salt in our house. We really use it a whole lot. So you guys, here, be sure to smell it through the packaging. You'll be able to smell it real good. So here you go. We'll pass both of these around so you can see. And sprinkle them on really generously on one side. Now when I take, just so that I don't have mess of chicken everywhere, I will take the chicken out of the Ziploc bag and just put it right on top of the Ziploc, and then season one side, put it down on the pan, and then season the other side before putting the crust on top. And if you use tongs in your kitchen, you've got to put these on your list too. If you've ever had a drawer that you couldn't get open because your tongs were stuck, you're like, that's happened to you. You should give yourself a ticket for that on it. So these tongs, she's like, we're a couple, we're a whole row. She's gonna win. Just so you know. Okay, so these tongs, when you point them down and squeeze, they open, and when you point them up and squeeze, they lock. And they've got silicone on them so they won't scratch your cookware. And if you are going to invest in our cookware, you've got to invest in tools that aren't going to scratch them. That's really important. So we're going to use these on there. So chicken goes on the pan, really good in season. Then the crust, that's just about as heavy as our meat tenderizer, goes right on top. And you're just going to set it down here. And then the key is you're going to walk away. Here's what happens, what I found most of the time. You've done this, haven't you? Did you see that laugh? She's like, oh gosh, this is me. So you stand there and you're like, you have your tongs, you're like, I'm going to flip it. Whoop, it's looking a little white. I'm going to flip it again. I'm going to flip it. And you're like, dang that pink ring, how do I get it off of it? You can't get the middle done, right? So the key mistakes that we're making is, number one, they're a lot of times lopsided. When you don't take a meat tenderizer pounder to them, then you put them on the pan and they're like, one side's this big and the other side is this big. So this end is like done and disintegrated before this end is even cooked, right? So you've just wasted that other half of your chicken anyway because you're not going to eat it. It's not edible. So when you flatten it out, it just all bakes evenly, cooks really, really evenly. So you put it on here, and instead of flipping, when you see white on the underside of the chicken, which is what we typically do, if my hand is a chicken breast, this is what you're going to look for. You want to look for white around the entire top edge of the chicken instead of just the bottom. What that will let you know is that it is actually cooked through and not just cooked the surface. So when you flip it, you're actually just searing off the second side. And because it sits there without being moved, those grill marks get so deep, you would kid anybody, they would think it came off your outdoor barbecue grill. So it's really, really wonderful. And you can look in here and see, you can see the chicken around the edges just a little bit, so you know exactly what to look for. If it's still pink around the edges, just don't flip it yet. Okay, then on the second side, once you flip it, take your tongs. Raw chicken is squishy and cooked chicken is not. So you just take your tongs and you gently press across the top. If it feels firm when you press on it, you're good to go. Cut into the middle, make sure it's good. But what you don't want to do is cook it until it's not juicy anymore, which is what we used to do in the old days when you didn't know how to cook chicken. So instead of waiting, you actually just want to take it off when it's white. Don't worry about it being not, dry. You want it to be white and juicy. It'll be perfect. Then when it comes off, it'll probably take 8 to 10 minutes. Most of the time it's going to be on the first side. We'll put it in a bowl, and we will use my absolute favorite things. They should be called chicken choppers. I should put them on your wish list as chicken choppers because that would be easier to find them. But they're salad choppers. You can put anything in a bowl, and I'll let you guys do this once the chicken comes off. And all you have to do is just shred in a bowl. So if you're doing like pulled pork barbecue, then you just put it in a bowl, or right in a magic pot. The magic pot that we're going to do the 12-minute chocolate fudge lava cake in, you can do a 12-minute pork tenderloin as well. So you can just shred right in there, because it's a bowl by transfer, right, to a different bowl. So, but you use these. They are awesome to shred anything. You made salsa. If you cut up fruit for breakfast, if you're having breakfast with your family, and we cut up fruit to make like a fruit salad, then you end up with a little bit. Not enough for everybody, but it's already chopped, so who wants to chop it even finer? You can stick it in a bowl with your salad choppers and add some of our cinnamon and maybe a little honey and have some fruit salsa. really quickly. So you can use your leftovers and not waste anything. So we will do that as soon as the chicken's done. And then the third thing that we're going to put in our dish is our bruschetta topping. And for that, we're going to use the nicely covered up little manual food processor, so we do not cut ourselves up here today. And so this little guy is really great for anything you want to chop and mix and stir all at the same time. So I know all of you were talking earlier, you all have the food chopper, which has been around for a long time. It's wonderful, right? So this is like the food chopper's big brother. It basically does what the food chopper does and then some. So where a food chopper, you might cut it into quarters on your cutting board and then chop a quarter at a time. With this, you can take our veggie wedger and do the whole onion in wedges in here at one time and get it all done at the same time. So it just does a little bit more. So it kind of depends on how much food you're fixing and what you would use it for. But beyond just chopping one thing, it will chop and mix at the same time. So salsa, our bruschetta, which is basically like an Italian salsa, tomato, basil, garlic. Instead of cilantro and jalapeno, we're going to use basil and garlic. So we'll put it in here, and then all you have to do is fill it up and chop away. And it just chops so easy. It's got this nice little sticky ring, so it's not going to go anywhere. And when I pass it around in a few minutes for you guys to do it, be sure not to pick it up by the lid, because then you'll have topping all over you. Yeah, that's no fun. And then we have this great little baby scraper. While we make this, it's going to come together, and every now and then you want to scrape it on the side, just like you do with any food processor that you want to use. Make sure you're getting everything in there. And how cute is this? It's tiny. Tiny things are cute. My friend Christina was just telling me that her husband says that if you make anything in mini version, women will buy it. So I love this. You get this too. And so here we go. In our bruschetta, all we're going to throw in here is we've got it full of basil. You can put as much basil in there as you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So it's kind of your taste preference that you like. Then we're going to put in some tomatoes. And another product I heard you all loving was the apple wedger. Yes, we love the apple wedger. I don't like to bite into an apple, so I prefer wedges even though I'm not a child. So this is another wedger. It's basically like the apple wedger, but it doesn't have a core that comes out of the middle. So on things like potatoes and onion and oranges that you don't need to worry about the middle going away, you don't want to waste that food, this is perfect because you get to use everything. And whoever invented it, they happen to be the same width around, so perfectly they go together. So we're going to take our tomatoes. You just set a tomato on here and you wiggle down and you get perfect wedges to throw in here. Now I'm the queen of filling this too full. I'll put it in here and then I can't make it go, and then I have to dump it out. So start small and then just keep adding as you chop. That'll save you some, headache later when you think, oh, it fits. It just doesn't move. So we throw our tomatoes in. We're going to throw a little bit of olive oil in. And if you keep olive oil next to your stovetop to cook with, if you don't have the spritzer yet, you ever notice that no matter what you do, when you go to wipe up the counter, there's always an oil ring, right? It's like it just keeps coming back for more. Like it never goes away. So with this oil bottle, it never drips down the side, no matter what you do. So you'll keep your counters a whole lot cleaner, which is great. So you're going to pour a little bit of oil in here just to get a little bit of moisture to get it to mix together really good. Some salt and pepper. You can use your own. We've got a beautiful bamboo set if you need some new salt and pepper grinders at home. And then we're going to put some fresh garlic. Now, this is one of my favorite things. This is one of your favorite things too, yes? So, would you like to hear a funny story about, should I do a ticket? Okay, so before I started selling Paper Chef, I was in my first apartment before I even hosted a party. And there was this recipe that I found that a friend gave me in a cookbook for Paper Chef called Touchdown Taco Dip. Have you ever heard of that recipe? Yes? I know, and it's like an old favorite. It's been around forever, everybody's had it. So the recipe that I had was fixed in a dish about this big. It was our little mini oval baker. It was really tiny, really cute. I'm like, oh, this is perfect for a party. I'll just have a friend over and we'll have a party. And so I made it, and I went to the store, and it called for 2 garlic cloves. Yeah. And I didn't know that, the bulb of garlic wasn't a clove. So I used 2 bulbs of garlic in a dish no bigger than this. And nobody would speak to me forever. And I was like, why are you talking to me? I made you a nice dish. So it was really bad. Now I got my Paper Chef kit just a short time later, and I hope that something would have clicked that that didn't fit in here. I was something's not right. But I didn't know then. So you're welcome that we have this today, so I don't kill you with garlic. So what you do, you put just 1 clove, with a little bitty clove in here, and you press it through. So you put the skin in there and everything. And then when it comes through, you use the little Barbie brush. Don't let your kids use this on their Barbies. I'm not buying them a new Barbie because their hair smells like garlic. So scrape it off. And then if you do have to hand wash, you use the little prongs. Try to throw stuff at you. You push it through here and it pushes the skin out, and then you can just dump it. Now I stick it in the dishwasher just like this, so it gets super good and clean. If you're not going to be running your dishwasher immediately, you probably do want to hand wash it because your whole dishwasher will smell like garlic. But it's delicious. Fresh garlic is so cheap and it's so good. Put as many cloves as you want in here, okay? This is one of those that you can just kind of have fun with the way you want. Once you get it all in there, you just chop it up, just like this, like I showed you. Oh, you know, it goes in there somehow. Chop. And then when it's all done, we take our cooked pasta, we take our shredded, chopped, and grilled chicken and our bruschetta topping, and we throw it into the rock crock. This thing holds heat like you would not believe. So if you are fixing maybe dinner and your husband's late coming home from work, something, you don't have to worry about reheating it because it's going to hold all that heat for you for a good long time. So you're in good shape there. And then the last thing that we're going to put on top there is some fresh grated Parmesan cheese, which you can't go wrong with fresh grated Parmesan cheese. What's an Italian chain here? Like, do you have Johnny Carino's or Olive Garden? Yeah, there you go. So you know they come up to your table and they're like, fresh Parmesan. You feel all fancy. So you should totally do that to your kids when you get home, like, fresh Parmesan, tell me when. And you know, you just keep going and going and going. So we'll put some fresh Parmesan. You guys will need to add your own so you can say when to yourself. So you can put as much on there. And I just recently learned that per ounce, Parmesan is like the best source of protein. Did you guys know that? So you should eat a lot. Let's go for it. Cheese. The more better excuse to eat cheese. Alright, so while this is all finishing up, we are going to get dessert going. And I know you guys love dessert. I think that's why you booked the party, not the grill cake, it was the cake, right? Chocolate cake. It's awesome! Okay, so for the cake, it's so simple. We're going to use our magic pot. And it's called the Deep Covered Baker in the catalog. You have a lot of tickets. It's another one of those products that we keep trying to get Cambridge up to change the name, and he don't, so you're just going to call it whatever you want. But it's the magic pot in my kitchen because it goes in the microwave, and 20 minutes later, poof, magic happens, and it comes out, and there's a meal. And so tonight, for the cake, this is the easiest cake ever. You take a boxed cake mix. So you pick chocolate. I saw you had the double sweet chocolate. We've already got it in here. And whatever the box says to do, oil, eggs, water. Be sure to get those measurements right. If you mess it up, it's really bad. I'm not a baker, and I know that. So make sure to put in here what it says. And I'll give you the best egg tip I've ever heard, and you can thank me for this later. Have you ever been making like pancakes and you get a little egg shard down in your batter and you like chase it forever? Did you know that eggshell is magnetic to eggshell? Yeah. So you take your big eggshell chunk and you stick it right down in your batter, and it will suck itself right to it. So you don't have to take a spoon and chase it anymore. I know, that one's free. You don't even have to pay for that. That's so good. Okay, so you whisk it up right in here. Now you can use a bowl, but again, I'm the type of cook that less mess is better. I don't want to have to do more dishes, and we have the rule whoever cooks, the other one cleans up, but I still try to be really nice and like the awesome girlfriend, and not a lot to clean up. And so why dirty more dishes if you don't have to, right? And I do like for the kitchen to be pretty clean by the time I sit down to dinner. Like if there's just a mess in the kitchen, for me it's not enjoyable. And you're talking to a girl that didn't know how to cook when I started selling Cambridge Chef. At my very first party, we made this recipe called vegetable mini quiche. I put no egg in it at all. Think about it. I got to the oven, it only had vegetables in the pan, and I got back to the table and I saw an egg and I didn't even know why it was there. So I do with it. And so a person at the party goes, you should just whisk that up in your batter bowl and pour a little in each cup. I'm like, calm it down. That's your job. So we've come a really long way. So we're going to whisk this up in here. And then here's the secret ingredient. You take a tub of frosting, and you're going to take a cookie scoop. You can use any size. We have the big one here. And you're just going to drop your frosting into the batter before you bake it. And right now, I know it looks like kind of like big globs of frosting in there, but what's going to happen is that the icing is going to sink to the bottom. The cake is going to bake up. And so when you go to serve it with this gorgeous spoon, isn't that pretty? Yeah, I know you want that. I get to take it. And so you take it and you go to scoop it out, and when you dump it into your bowl, all that melted icing is like hot fudge that pours over your cake. It's delicious. Really good with ice cream if you want to use your calories there. You have the ice cream. I'm going to drink the rest of the wine. So it's a deal if you want to go with that. So that's it. And this is one of those meals too that like when you sit down to dinner, you can put your microwave, put this in the microwave. Let's just face it, it takes 10 minutes to eat dinner anymore. It's not like it takes forever. We're all in a hurry. So dessert can be going while you're eating dinner, and it goes off. You're like, oh, it's time for dessert. This is perfect. So with the Magic Pot, I will tell you, these two products here, people ask me all the time. Okay, so which one do I need? What's the difference? Which one should I get first? And this is what I think. I think that the recipes are very interchangeable. So whichever one you get, if you find a recipe for the other one on our website, there are tons of recipes for both. You can just search the product name and there's a recipes tab, tons that will come up. And you can try them in either. With this one, it's perfect if you, like I said, dishwasher is important and you really want to be able to use it everywhere. Like we have a great grill, but it doesn't have one of those side burners. So this is something that can go right on the grill. If you wanted to like mushrooms and wine or baked beans on the grill, you can do that right in there on the grill because it's just multi-purpose. Now, if you love stoneware and you know you can't burn anything on stone and that's really important to you, then this is going to be like your best friend because you can do chicken in 10 minutes, you can do pork tenderloin in 12, you can do the pasta like we did in the rock crock, or you can even do fajitas in 15 minutes, right? You can put all your peppers and onions that you wedge up with this, a little chili lime rub, some chicken and garlic, and then shred it up, and in 15 minutes you have fajitas for your family. Just add some margaritas. So you're good. Texas is known for margaritas. They are delicious here. So mix all that up, whatever you want to do. A lot of these recipes, like I said, will go back and forth. So I would definitely encourage you to get one now and then host a show and get the other one. Now you can buy both now if you want, but you might host a show and get one for free or half price because it'll save you and then you can get used. You ready to have a party? Okay, well, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me show you guys real quick what Dorothy's going to get for having the party. And since you've already decided you're having one, Susan, the next one, and Anna's like, I'm next. Let me show you guys what you're getting. I'm going to sit down here so you can come down here by Susan. So here we have just a fun little way to show you what all, whoa, did I get you? That's fun. Okay, this has all the benefits of what you get for having a party with me. This is so fun. So first of all, your responsibility is to pick a date. And then invite everybody over, and a couple days before the party, you'll go to the store and you'll pick up the ingredients for the recipe we pick. It's that easy. And I just got a new recipe for this sandwich on our grill pan that I cannot wait to make. So you guys are going to be getting a treat of that. So when you have a party, you're going to get free products. My average host gets anywhere from $150 to $200 in free product. That's not just free, that's tax-free. And anymore, I don't know anything that is tax-free. So that's a big, huge savings. In addition, you get to pick up to 5 products at half price. That can be anything. So you can get your rock crock or your spritzer, whatever you like, and you'll save up to 30% off the rest of your order, 10% off for a year, no matter what party you're at or who you order with, or if it's online or on the outlet, an extra 10% savings. And then we have this great monthly host special at 60% off. So since you have your book here, show the girls. On the back here, all the specials we were talking about, flip your board over. You will see our February special up here in the upper left corner, and you're going to notice all the things that we used today, the rock crock, the grill pan. I know this is why you booked the party, was to get the grill pan bundle. Okay, now you want both. So, Susan, you have to do your party in February so she can get both, right? So this is a great bundle. And then when you have your party, then Dorothy's going to be able to get it. And then anybody that books from you in March or after, you're going to be able to save 50% off any item you want. It's wonderful, so you will just keep on saving. Now I have to show you here, just the last thing we're going to finish up with is my favorite product, which is our kit. We have a great thing. Now I know you probably didn't come today thinking, I'm going to start a business. But I'll tell you, it's a great value. It is a wonderful value. And on that note, I'm going to show you the other side. And anything on here that you notice, you're going to get a fun ticket for. Do you notice anything in the middle? Here, let me get rid of it. You can see it. You see me? I'll be with you forever now. I'm on the top. So here we go. You all get a ticket because you saw me on top. So is there anything on here, Dorothy? What on here grabs your attention? The free vacations. Give her a ticket for that. Oh my gosh. I will tell you, the free vacations are one of my favorite perks of the job. And here's why. When I grew up with a single mom, we didn't vacation. It wasn't in our budget. It wasn't in our vocabulary. And so when I started selling Paper Check, I said, you can earn a trip to Disney for $4. I was like, I can go to Disney World, and it's free. I got so excited. And I'll tell you, in 56 days, not that we're counting, we are leaving for our 10th free vacation to an all-inclusive in the Dominican Republic. So if you like to travel or free vacation speaks your language, then this is definitely something you want to consider. Anna, what about you? What on here grabs your attention? Money. Yeah, money's a big deal. Nobody says no to extra money, right? So as a consultant, you actually can earn an average of $100 a party and even more. And that's just for getting together like we did tonight and kind of having a paid girls' night in. It's really, really fun that you get to control exactly how much you make and when you make it, and there's no maximum that you can make. It's wonderful. So just on the last thing here, let me tell you, I did mention the kit. joining the company is so much more than a kit. You buy the kit to get started, but that's just your first thing. You don't have to pay anything else, but what the business can give you is so much more than just a great value on a bunch of products and a kit for inexpensive. As a host, you can buy these cheaper, which is great, but once you join, what you're going to get out of it is so, you just don't even know. I wasn't looking for it when I started. I was 19, and that was 11 and a half years ago, and I just didn't even know that this is what I wanted to do. And so after a few months, when I made more money doing this than I did at my full-time job, I was like, this is pretty great. And I learned that you need egg and quiche. So that was good. Now I know how to cook, which is wonderful. But if you're looking for part-time, full-time, maybe you're looking to supplement, whatever it is, Pampered Chef can help you kind of build the dream you're wanting for you and your family. So when we're eating, you guys check out the catalog, check out your order, and when you're ready to order, if you want to ask any more questions about anything, having a party, joining my team, talking about what your opportunities are, we can even do a party so you can see what it's like to join a business. So we can do whatever you want. So you guys will draw for a prize here in a few minutes. You got lots of tickets, but did you have fun? Yes? Are you hungry? Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go eat and we're going to finish up here, okay? Thank you so much.